Hello, and welcome back to Bedtime Stories with Vice Vice Baby, where we will continue our journey with Uncle Wiggily. Story 24, Uncle Wiggily and the Lemonade Stand. My, but it certainly is a warm day, exclaimed Uncle Wiggily, the old gentleman rabbit, as he unbuttoned his fur coat and fanned his ears with a horse chestnut leaf. I don't know when I have been so warm. It is very hot, agreed Nurse Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy, the muskrat lady, as she peeled some eggs for dinner. I think I would not go up in my airship today if I were you, Mr. Longears. Oh, the heat makes no difference to me if I want to take a ride, the rabbit gentleman answered. Besides, you forgot that I have a big Japanese umbrella over the top of my airship to keep off the hot sun. Yes, I will take a ride, and perhaps I may have an adventure. Who knows? True enough. Who knows? Repeated Nurse Jane. Well, if you will go, Wiggy, I suppose you will. And since you are going, would you mind stopping at the store and bringing me some honey for supper? It will give me the greatest pleasure in the world to bring you some honey, Sweetness, said Uncle Wiggily politely. Sometimes he called Nurse Jane Sweetness, just for a joke. Well, off the old gentleman started in his clothes basket airship, and had been all mended since the time he and Lulu Wibblewobble the duck girl rode in it, when the bumblebee stung the balloons. And the sofa cushions, since Mrs. Wibblewobble put new feathers in them, are better than ever, said Uncle Wiggily. He had the sofa cushions to fall on, you know. Well, it kept on getting hotter and hotter that day, and not long after Uncle Wiggily had set off to get the honey for Nurse Jane, Billy Bushytail, the little squirrel boy, said to his brother Johnny, "I'll tell you what let's do. Let's set up a lemonade stand along the street and sell the nice, cold, sweet lemonade for 5 cents a glass." "All right," cried Johnny. "We'll do it." So they got some old boxes, squirrel size of course, and their mama gave them an old tablecloth to spread over the top to make the stand look nice. Then she let the two squirrel boys take the proper things to make the lemonade: the lemons, the sugar, a pitcher, some glasses, and a small piece of ice. "We'll make a lot of money and buy ice cream cones," cried Billy. "That's what we will," shouted Johnny as he gnawed the shell off of a hickory nut. Then the squirrel boys squeezed the juice from the lemons, poured in the water, and stirred it up in the pitcher. "Say," exclaimed Billy at that point, "we ought to have an umbrella over our stand to make it shady. There's an old one in the house. Let's put it up." "All right," agreed Johnny. "We will." Then they both ran in the house to get the sun umbrella, and while they were gone, a bad monkey chap with a very large sweet tooth sneaked up in the lemonade stand and took all the sugar. And when Billy and Johnny Bushytail had fastened the umbrella up over the stand and went to look for the sugar to put in the cool lemonade, why, the sugar was not there. You know who had it, though Billy and Johnny did not. "Oh, what are we going to do?" cried Billy. "We have to get more sugar," exclaimed Johnny. But alas, likewise sorrowfulness. After giving the squirrel boys the things for the lemonade, Mrs. Bushytail had gone down to the 10 and 5 cent store to buy a new dishpan and had locked up the squirrel house, for she thought her boys would not want to go in again until she came back. We can't get any sugar, and we can't make any lemonade," cried Billy sadly. "Oh, yes, we can," said his brother. "Let's make it sour, without sugar. Perhaps the folks who buy it won't mind." "All right," agreed Billy. So they made sour lemonade. Then Billy and Johnny took their places behind the stand and cried, "Here you are! Nice, cold lemonade, only 5 cents a glass." You notice they were very careful not to say sweet lemonade, for that would not have been true. "Huh, lemonade!" cried Grandfather Goosey Gander, coming along just then. "I'll take a glass." And he laid 5 cents down on the box. Billy filled a glass for him. "Ooh! Ah! Oh, mercy me! Why, it's sour!" cried Grandfather Goosey Gander, making a lot of funny faces as soon as he sipped the lemonade. "Yes," said Billy sadly, "it is sour. Someone took our sugar." "Well, I can't drink sour lemonade," spoke the duck gentleman, and he took back his 5 cents. "Oh dear," said Johnny sadly. And that's the way it was. All the animal folks who came along to drink the cold lemonade wouldn't take it when they found it was sour. They just wrinkled up their nose and took back their money. "Here comes Uncle Wiggily in his airship," said Billy, after a while. "Maybe he likes sour lemonade?" So they called him to come down and buy some. The rabbit gentleman, sailing down, laid his nickel on the box. He sipped the lemonade. "Oh me! Oh my! And some soda crackers!" he cried, making his nose twinkle like a star on a frosty night. "That is too sour." "Yes," said Billy sadly. "Someone took our sugar, and we can't sell any sweet lemonade and get any money for ice cream cones, and our mama isn't home, and—" "Stop. Say no more. You have troubles enough," cried Uncle Wiggily. "I will sweeten your lemonade for you." And with that, he put into the pitcher some of the nice sweet honey he had bought from the store in his airship. "Oh joy!" cried Billy and Johnny, tasting the lemonade, which now was sweet enough for even Grandfather Goosey Gander. And the squirrel boys sold one pitcher full and part of another one. The honey was better than sugar for sweetening. They made enough money to buy several ice cream cones, and they sent Uncle Wiggily one for giving them the honey, which made their sour lemonade sweet. And pretty soon, if the coal man doesn't slide a watermelon down their ironing board into the refrigerator, I will tell you about Uncle Wiggily and the watering hose. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Bedtime Stories with Vice Vice Baby. I hope you all have a good night and sweet dreams.